quote. It is
Welcome
a PG show.
to. What do you guys want to call it again? Brad's.
You're saying that while I have
Corner.
a phone in front of my
Need to
face.
know, is it
We
a
can edit
PG?
it right now.
Is it a PG
Brad's
show?
corner.
PG-13?
Like PG. No.
Brad's
No
space.
F-bombs.
Let's squat with Brad.
No F-bombs. No F-bombs.
Okay, no
What's
F-bombs.
popping at
Let us know. I don't
Brad's?
know who's
What's
gonna
popping
watch
at
this.
Brad's?
Yeah, that's good. I actually like that name.
What's has to do with the couch?
What's popping? Oh, with the couch?
That's
What's
incorporated couch?
Cast and call at Brad's Toys.
Brad's
Yeah,
casting
that's
couch.
a rip-off. Stop you. I can't be original.
Brad's casting couch.
Hey.
Couch
He asked for
talk.
couch in the.
Welcome to Brad's casting couch. All right.
Casting for
That's
what?
where we're starting. All right.
All right.
That works.
Tim, if you'd like to.
Get off the phone, please.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Just a little bit.
Thanks.
Introduce yourselves, gentlemen.
I'm Hav. Just Hav.
I'm Brad Howard. Always call me the full name.
I'm Tim. You can just use Tim.
All right. So, this is just a little questionnaire. We'll get to know these guys. Javier used to work here at the shop, but then he decided to leave us because he hates us. This is the one, the
Yeah, you
only
didn't tell
Brad
us anything
Howard,
about that.
the owner of
See?
this store.
Full name.
And this is Tim, our resident homeless person.
Or Nighthawk.
All right, guys. Question number, we'll just start with Javi and then go down the line for every question.
Let's do
We can
this.
start here and then go down that way.
No.
Okay.
So, like, what got you into all this, man? Is it like, did it spawn from childhood, or did it come later in life?
Great question, always. Talking about toys, right?
Like collecting,
toys,
yeah, like
loving
being really
toys.
heavy into it.
Childhood.
Childhood. Like it just kept going through childhood.
Childhood plants the seeds. As you get older, you're able to afford your own toys. When you do that, you rekindle childhood within yourself and keep it alive, and therefore you fall in love with these new versions of your old toys. When you do that, you kind of live longer. That's my philosophy behind it. And Brad provides that, by the way.
Definitely.
Right here on Boulder Highway.
Howard.
Plug.
Howard. Brad Howard's toy collectibles outside.
Brad, how about you? What got you into this? We can go ahead and add on, like, what made you create the store? Like, what made you want
Wow.
to make a toy store?
Okay. Well, that's definitely a deep question. To start, I'd say that got me into collecting because there was a gap. I played with toys, but then I didn't collect all my life.
Right.
I started collecting later in life. What got me into it was really the art of the retro card backs, honestly. The Ninja Turtle card backs, Ghostbuster card backs, just that retro drawn on beautiful.
You can't replicate it.
It was
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, those are
and
cannot replicate
that's
it.
what really sparked it. Just collecting in general. What started the store? Man, I don't know. I guess I just couldn't stop spending, so it had to make sense somehow. So I started selling some of it, I guess.
A smart businessman.
Right, yeah.
It's so great.
Yeah, you know.
Tim, what got you into all this, man?
Oh, Brad. No.
Oh, Brad. Answer. Next question.
Oh.
No, that's good. I want to hear Tim.
What got me into it was a super powers Superman.
Yeah.
What I got when I was a kid. That's what got me into
I wish
it.
we had it right here. Just
Right, just pull it out.
And this is the one.
In the store.
Yeah. Well, so that one was sold.
I'm upset about that.
Somebody was holding it for me. Something happened. We'll let that go. I was a
We'll get
huge.
another one.
I watched He-Man religiously as a kid and Thundercats, and you know, I had gotten a couple Funkos for like Star Wars Funkos. My family knew I liked Star Wars, so they got me like a few Funkos. No big deal. I was really didn't know what they were, or you know, thought they were kind of cool, but then I just came in. I saw this. I saw actually the
wall?
the art out in front.
Oh, yeah.
I saw the He-Man picture out front and the Thundercats.
What do we officially call it? A mural?
The part,
Mural.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what actually got me interested. I drove by there and I was like, huh. The He-Man and the Thundercats
Yeah,
stood
yeah,
out
for sure.
Good.
It's, all the
I had to
vintage
fight
stuff.
Henderson to have those stand.
Really?
They wanted to take them all down.
Dude. And then the pops
I had to
on the
prove
other
that they
side.
were artwork.
Really?
When
Which then when I did, they were all for me.
Yeah,
I
they
loved
were
it.
pro Brad after that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Increase the percentage.
And then I saw the other side has the pops pictures, and I was like, oh, I wonder what kind of pops he got.
wonder
today.
what's in there.
Right, that was all she wrote, man. I kind of learned the world from you guys, you know, and then the pictures from you and and Dan and Tom and you and
The
Shout out to Dan and Tom.
yeah, the community. The community.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a community until I came in here, and
We're welcomed into it.
Yeah,
yeah,
With
definitely.
open arms.
Very
Yeah,
That's how it
welcoming.
rolls. That's how it goes.
that's what's
It's
cool too. And I think we've talked about that before about the community in here. You know, is so versatile. The people, you know what I mean, like. Regularly, I think all four of us probably wouldn't be sitting on a park bench together, like chilling, if we didn't have something in common or something to bring us together.
This would be the hub of common ground.
Yes,
And that-
and I think this common ground kind of brings all sorts of different styles of people
Oh, yeah.
together, and really you get to meet people you probably wouldn't regularly even talk to.
Right, right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So, I think that's the coolest part about it.
Very good answer. Very good answer. Now, Hav,
Yes.
DC or Marvel, and why?
DC. More, I'll make it simple. Yeah, I just relate more to Greek mythology, and DC relates more to Greek mythology than Marvel. But I do appreciate the hell out of Marvel for being more of a 20th century mutant kind of things that were going to change kind of company, for the lack of a better word, form of comic book art. But DC just stuck to my art. Believe it or not, people love Batman. I love Batman. I love Superman. All the one that turned me on the most at the very beginning was Aquaman. Because,
Really?
ironically enough,
Okay.
Aquaman was the first one.
Nice.
Because he spoke to sea life, called a whale, rode a seahorse, and to this day, I still love seahorses, for the record. I think they're just magic. It's like, if people say unicorn, yeah, it's fairy tale. Say seahorse, oh, they're actually real. Wait a second, and it's strange that they are.
Yeah.
You know, but I dug it as a kid, and therefore DC kind of just challenged it again. But I love the powers. I love the look of it all. I love it all. I love Marvel too. I'm not a hater of it.
Definitely more
Yeah.
edgy, DC.
DC, you think
Darker.
so? You
Darker,
think so?
yeah, I'd say darker.
You think so? Nowadays or back then?
Even back then.
I think back then Marvel was more darker because they were embracing the nuclear age. They were looking into dark things. I think this is the reason why they were changing, because man was making the problem here. I believe Marvel created a great what was it? Oh my god, I forgot the story arc. But it's a classic one where they blamed, you know, in the 80s they did it. It was a story arc for the X-Men. Forgot, someone knows it out there. Yeah, where nuclear threat is what made the mutants go
The whole
bananas.
Russia thing.
Or even before that. It was printed in the 80s, but it was a story about like the 60s and all that. Like, what was it? X-Men First Class?
Yeah, I think so.
Like that.
Yeah, okay.
You know, so, but overall DC.
Brad?
I agree.
Okay.
No,
With this guy.
how do you upstage that? I mean, that's,
Stop it, even the battle.
We should have had him last.
I guess it's hard to say. Okay, first off,
He must sit here.
they're both arts. So you can't say like one's better than the other.
Just
Am I
mean,
gonna
like,
say, am I gonna
storylines
say
and,
what do
like,
I enjoy more?
characters.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like that's
Yeah, it's
probably
always
more of a
different.
question.
That's what I mean. Like
is what do I
what do you
enjoy
like
more?
You know, like in terms
Ask
of
a good
art,
question then.
in terms of like art,
This guy.
storylines, characters.
Define
you know.
your
Right.
questions, man.
I feel like I connect more to DC. I like the stories more. I like the characters more.
Connect, that's a good way.
I don't know if I like what the last 10 years has been like. You know. In
You mean like movies?
all
or?
together, even some
Really?
of the animated. I know you'll probably get hate mail, and I don't like Batman, so that's that you'll probably get hate mail if you actually do put this out there. So,
Yeah, we can't even,
Yeah, I
post,
don't like
we can't even
Batman.
post this now.
the Golden Boy, but
Golden.
he is the
We
Okay,
can't-
so we're gonna move past that.
Move past that.
But
We started, right.
but I do like.
As I look at George Clooney back there, I can't even take it seriously. It's so sad. I want to defend Batman, but I'm looking at Clooney's
and it
nipples.
still didn't destroy
Ah.
his career. See?
Hey, it's like De Niro.
The Golden
You-
Boy. It's
yeah,
the
it's like De
Golden
Niro. You
Boy.
do a couple crappy movies and you're De Niro. Okay, move on. Oh, what a great movie. Man,
Well,
De Niro's
it was a great movie. I grew up in the best era.
Stop, yeah.
DC
I'm a-
90s movies.
I'm a Batman Begins
Batman
guy.
Forever, Batman and
Yeah.
Robin. I mean, that's primo stuff.
Yeah,
But anyway,
Schumacher, bye-bye.
so I'm voting for DC myself personally. I hope they can get themselves in gear a little bit. But they're definitely better, in my opinion, with the comics too. I like the.
Yeah.
I like how crazy they get with all the different universes.
Right,
And,
yeah.
And resetting and going back in time and
A lot
changing
more
all
complex stories.
that. Oh my God! It gets. I love
Yeah.
that. I love that. There you go.
DC, man.
All right, it's a DC couch. Okay.
Yeah.
Superman. Superman started it all for me.
Yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I love Batman too. Michael Keaton came out when I was a kid with one of the first Batman movies that I ever saw, and I thought that was the raddest movie I've ever seen. I didn't ever hear of Aquaman. That is interesting though.
Right, the Aquaman is what really got you like.
Yeah, because
into-
usually one of the four, Flash.
Batman,
Yeah.
Superman, one of those three.
You know what I do appreciate about Aquaman later on, because he's always left of the wayside, even though he's like a lead member of the Justice League.
Yeah.
He has very unique abilities.
Mm-hmm.
Very unique. He's the Submariner, basically. They always have a reflection between
Right.
Marvel and DC, right? But what makes Aquaman really unique is that they embrace that myth of the mermaid and the man and the land. And what would happen if they did have a kid? You got Aquaman. The woman, the mermaid, was a queen that lived in Atlantis. Little did the man know. And we'll probably see that movie when it comes out.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. I hope they do it justice, pun intended. But what was unique as a kid is that, man, what a trip, man. He was speaking to the fish and go, Jesus. Later on, I mean, they put Aquaman to the wayside, but later on, like in stories with Alex Wade and, Mark Wade and Alex Ross, he makes a valid point when Aquaman got older and the superheroes of the ground needed his help to quarantine all the villains from the land. We got to put them somewhere, man. We can't kill them. We're not killers. Where do we pull them? Aquaman's like, that's your problem on the land. I control 75% of this earth, and you come in with your problems? Come on. I was like, boom. That's why you're the king, dude. Get out of here.
That's a good answer.
So when he said things like that, I was like, thank God they redeem Aquaman to the point of saying, hey, I take care of a lot. Guys, I can start a tsunami and wash you off and we'll start again. How's that? But I don't do that because I respect. I'm a part man. I'm like, yes, I dig that. It's a new form of the king, basically. So.
The one man who's gonna defend Aquaman. I
This
like
guy.
that. Yeah.
But do you think because I'm of course born in the early '80s, do you think because there was no real big Marvel push? I mean, we had Christopher Reeve Superman, we had the Batman
For sure.
show.
For sure.
I mean, the only thing I can remember watching that I really liked was Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk. That show.
Well, they did some good animated stuff in the 80s and 90s.
Sure.
Marvel.
For Marvel, yeah, there was
Man,
the
we
X-Men.
did. Oh,
Yeah.
they introduced them,
But I'm talking
Video games,
Cartoon.
and
I don't know,
but
early
live
80s.
action. You're right.
Yeah.
They didn't have really any.
Those bunk films like Captain America, Fantastic Four, they were really Thor. They were really cheesy.
Spider-Man's probably the first. Tobey Maguire Spider-Man's probably the first
Yeah.
thing that was.
But Spider-Man was a TV show also in the early 80s.
And
And that would come out and it would be, wow, it got me, There was Peter
well,
Parker.
they did a Captain
Remember that?
America one like
Nicholas
that too.
Hammond.
That was real
Nicholas
cheesy. I
Hammond.
mean, that's.
Nicholas Hammond was the actor who played
Oh.
Peter Parker in the televised version of Spider-Man.
1977.
Boom, 1977. That's the year of Star Wars, by the way.
All right, what's your opinion on Black Panther, the new movie?
The new?
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic.
You guys excited about it?
I think it's fantastic, but I'm also on a greater. I bet that's a great question. I see the trailer and I think the machine behind it, what they're trying to do and cater to the demographics of black youth and African Americans in general. Let's just say there's not enough heroes. We ran out of Blade. Where's Blade? I mean, you have Luke Cage. He's on Netflix. It's very limited surrounding. You have great movies about 12 Years a Slave and great movies that have African Americans, but also where's the superheroes, man?
Right.
There's plenty of them. Let's get another Black Lightning on a TV show now,
Yeah.
But
good.
thank you. We have a Black Panther. It's modern. It's plausible.
Yeah, definitely modern. Definitely
And-
modern
And
twist.
it's tied into the technology that they have in Marvel. The vibranium shield
Right,
for Captain
exactly.
America. It explained his union with Captain America and having Captain America go dark in a sense because he has to, live outside of the Americana dream, the 50s and shit like that.
Right.
I love it. I think the trailer, the movie, the acting. I think it's great, man. I think it's awesome. I'm stoked.
Just keeps building for the next movie.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
so excited. And Marvel's doing everything right when
Yeah.
it comes to the movies.
Yeah.
that's- we're all DC fans. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Say that.
Yeah, the
that
Marvel
Marvels
movies are
are
better.
hands down. And
Thor 3 is
Oh
fantastic.
my God,
I'm
Thor
sorry.
was so great.
Logan, shut up.
Yeah,
Deadpool,
Logan was okay.
suck it. It's so good.
Deadpool was pretty awesome.
Everything is so good with
They're
those
so
damn
good, but they
franchise.
know what they're gonna do, and they just kind of do it.
Guardians
they
of
don't
the
care.
Galaxy, shut up.
DC's too reactionary.
It's a different
They
world.
hear
I
that
love the
somebody
dark.
didn't like
I love
Flash,
the
so
dark.
They changed the Flash, and they don't like that we've gone this direction. They go, okay, well, we're not going to go that direction. Well, that's not how you tell a story. you tell a story because you have conviction over the story.
Right, exactly.
And then you let us soak it in. And then you hear all the fanboys bitch because they're going to bitch, let's be honest. I mean, they're going to find a reason.
Yeah,
Because his thumb was bent backwards in a scene.
Yeah, I don't care.
So I
Flash
can't
has
watch
dark
this
hair.
movie.
Yeah, I don't care.
Right,
He's
exactly.
not blonde.
Deadpool isn't, his face isn't as nasty as it should have been. He has more blood sores, you know. These are the things
It's always something.
It is.
It's always
it
something.
is. So, anyway, yay Marvel.
Black
Black Panther. Yay.
Oh,
Honest opinions.
I'm. You know what? When I first heard about it, I wasn't very excited about it. I was just like, whatever. But only because I have no knowledge of it.
That's
But-
very fair.
The things both of you guys just said, them tying everything in, it's making it more interesting.
Absolutely.
So somebody like me, you know, that never really knew anything about Marvel besides, you know, Spider-Man and Hulk and those things. This whole franchise tying everything together and, you know, like you were saying too, using the Black Panther movie and also getting the technology and what he can do and everything like that involved with the whole team and what his role is, I think that's pretty cool. Like, actually, the last trailer that just came out was pretty bad. Like, what's it, Eric Kilgore?
Killmonger.
Yeah,
Killmonger.
Killmonger.
Yeah.
Like, he had his suit just...
Pop up.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
dude, that was rad. So that got me
Good
kind
action, man.
Yeah.
Good solid action, you know.
Yeah.
Favorite action figure line, or just toy? Any figure lines that you would say is your favorite?
It's pretty apparent.
I know.
Here. I mean, I can get technical for the sake of technicality, but honestly, right now, the Black Series 6-inch Hasbro's Star Wars Black Series 6-inch figures, you know. Not a big 3 3/4 guy anymore. I've been waiting all my life for a 6-inch Star Wars figure. Not a 12-inch, not a 3-inch, or 3 3/4, a 6-inch. Finally. And now, me being older, I'm able to customize them. I love the Marvel Legends line. I think it's phenomenal by Hasbro as well.
What do you think with G.I. Joe doing the 6-inch?
That'd be great.
They're
But they
supposed
have
to be doing
yeah,
that,
but
yeah.
they have to do it really well done.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to hide joints and make it worth a collector's.
I think it'll look great.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome. I
I'm
love the
worried
snake
it's not
eyes.
gonna.
Now, was it
people
like-
are going to be afraid to
Like a TV
branch
show
off.
G.I. Joe, or like?
They haven't said, but I'm hoping that it's
Vintage 80s line.
right.
Right,
That it's
yeah.
a throwback to the
Generation
classic
Like the
stuff,
class, like they did with the He-Man classic.
Yeah, none of the
Oh,
new
man,
stuff.
that'd
None of
be
the new
awesome.
stuff. None of the new stuff.
and maybe even a little more improved, or throw with them some extra weapons or something. That would really get the ball rolling. Especially with maybe a San Diego Comic-Con startup with some cool like diorama setups.
Dioramas.
That's
And it's a great skill to shoot pictures. I love shooting pictures of
Not
action
too
figures.
small, not too big.
6 inches
Perfect.
great. The only negative, if I'm going to say there's one negative, it's hard for vehicles. They are so big.
Yes.
I mean, you have to get real
Yeah.
big.
There are no
ones.
vehicles.
Very few. Very
Very
few.
few.
you
I've
know?
seen like a speeder bike for Black Series.
And even if it is, it's
And
they got the
really
TIE
And then it's
fighters.
TIE fighter.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, they have the land speeder, and I mean, they have
Yeah.
a few vehicles, but it's tough. They're not going to make a Death Star.
Or like a
Millennium Falcon cockpit. I would love one.
Just the
Where you
cockpit?
can
Aren't
fit
they
four
putting
figures in
something
it,
together like
where the
that?
shell opens up and you
That
can
would
actually
be
the lights
cool.
turn on. I would pay $150 for something like that. I mean, it's a phenomenal piece of toy.
Hasbro.
Hasbro,
Please.
you're being called out right now.
Help
right.
me help you. You're making money. I
Right,
just
exactly.
want it.
So my favorite, what was it? Toy? Was
toy
it a
line, or like toy, like like Black Series, or like any other
Mystery
kind of-
Pops, don't that count? Don't
Yeah, pops.
Like, are we talking like? Because I mean, my heart's
Boxes
kind of
are
to the
pretty cool.
vintage, So I would probably name like the things that like the real Ghostbusters is that's the stuff that
Right.
I love. I think is beautiful.
For the art, definitely.
For the art,
Right.
again, like if you're talking, there's different forms for different times. Like, are you talking about was my figures to like play with? Like, I just
Well,
like the
then,
Rick
yeah.
and Morty because they're
'cause
dumb
I've-
and fun.
I've just liked
but they're
Black
terrible
Series.
figures.
Right,
Sorry,
definitely.
Funko, but they're kind of terrible figures.
They're
But,
not. They don't hold up well. That's
They're
the
not
problem.
very
They're
good.
Not
fragile.
They're not very good, but I can still pretend and enjoy.
SH Figure Arts Meeseeks figure.
Oh my God! that'd be
Oh,
ridiculous.
man.
It'd be-
I spew
They'd be
magic.
insane.
People would go bananas for
People
something like
would.
that.
People would.
Bananas, a gun,
No,
a crowbar,
send this to Hasbro.
a golf club. Oh my God, endless expressions.
Right, different
multiple heads.
faces.
I mean, you
different
could start
heads.
if you did a Marvel Legends style 6-inch. of Rick and Morty with Build-A-Figures. Oh my god!
There's so many
It would be,
characters.
The build a
So
figure
many
has to be
characters.
Rick's ship.
there could be all sorts of things.
Adolf
It could be
Hitler.
it could be the
He's the
floating
Build-A-Figure
head in the
of Build-A-Figure.
sky. I mean, that's
Love that.
definitely a bit.
It was
but,
Morty's kid,
Morty Jr.
Morty Jr. Jesus, what a great
I
Build-A-Figure.
love toys. I mean, how do I say that like one is better than another? I don't know. It just they all take pretending. So and they all take like so
A level of imagination.
Yeah,
So
so,
therefore,
I
there's
mean,
no
it's-
better. It's just different.
It's just different.
Yeah.
Just different. The ones that don't hold up bother me. The ones that break, like if you're gonna move their joints and they,
Yeah, 'cause
I
you're
really
ripping
love
off people,
those
man.
NECA quarter
Sorry, NECA.
scale turtles are beautiful.
They are very accurate sculpts, like crazy details.
Those are
Yeah.
cool. There's so
The
many things
texture.
that I could name that I just
Insane.
really like. I'm not gonna like pick one. I'm not.
Then we better move on because we'll just talk all day.
That's probably true.
Yeah.
I'll
So you
move on.
can't
He loves
say there's
toys. He
one
runs
more
a
than the
store.
other. That you
I love
like.
every toy in here.
There-
Well, I
if
mean, I
you-
like particular toys over another, but like
if
a
we
line.
forced you to collect
A current line?
A
Yeah,
certain-
the Black
a
Series.
certain
Love
thing-
SH.
a
Well, not
certain
not
line.
even necessarily current. Just like if you were to only collect the entire line of a certain toy.
that I couldn't collect.
I stood
so
by
like
it.
I could collect.
Yeah, that's a question.
So like if Star Wars was my favorite thing, I'd have to pick Black Series, and I couldn't pick anything else. Then, right? That's what you were trying to get at. So if that was the case,
Wow.
I would probably name. I really like Play Arts. I think those are super cool. I like that anime look.
Yeah.
Um,
Everything has armor.
right, like if I envision like any of my like Rick and Morty was in any line, and I could just pick the
Wow.
one, that type
Oh,
of thing.
Rick and Morty Play Arts?
Play Arts would look
That would be
ridiculous.
crazy.
That I've seen some concept art of that
Are
type.
you
and-
serious?
Well, that type,
Yeah,
that
right,
anime
super
type.
articulated,
Yeah,
like-
yeah. And I don't know if I'd be a
That
huge
would
fan
be
of that. I'd rather see like a nice figure art. And that's
Because figure arts, they do, like, realistic to whatever it's from.
Yeah.
Because I've
They
seen,
do
like, Star
realistic.
Wars, and it's,
Right.
like, accurate face
Well, even
sculpts.
like the Super Mario's that look
Right,
really nice.
and
So, I mean,
then-
they can do that in between.
So they can still have the proportions.
Yeah, and that would look
Definitely.
really clean.
It would.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We want them real.
But I want to be able to have them nice
Real
articulated because Rick does some goofy things.
Right,
So
and
I
then
want to put him
VCs
in.
goes bananas.
Right,
Does all
right.
kinds- I want his hits
And then the
split
Funko
open
is just
and-
I mean,
like-
Rick does the splits and then jumps up and does a spin.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that's- you want to be able to
It's
do
the
all that,
Rick dance.
Yeah. So,
His accessory with armor and guns and his garage.
so I guess
would
my
be
favorite
phenomenal.
line is not actually possible yet, but maybe one day.
Maybe one day.
There you go.
Wow.
Are you listening?
what an
All of you
answer.
companies that I've named. I hope so.
Better start pitching ideas.
Tim.
Tim,
Me?
favorite action figure line.
You know what? I like the Black Series. I'm
You
Star
love
Wars.
Pops, you bananas, man.
I do like Pops, but getting more into
The play arts too.
An action
the
figure.
play arts,
So
the
that-
Well, I
action
just said
figures.
figures in general.
Actually, it's his fault I got into an
Pops are
action figure.
figures.
It says Funko
He would
Pop
not
vinyl
leave me
figure.
alone for like
Figures
weeks.
About which one?
First you
I
wanted
would
me,
leave you alone?
Yeah, first you wanted me to get the Black Series Darth Maul. That was loose.
Yeah, that was that was the
Bug.
very first one.
And it was cool, but I was just like, I'm saving my money for Pops.
Sure.
And
Yeah, that's how it rolls, man.
saving my money for something that come in but then I don't know. One day I was like, you know what?
What was your first action
Kylo
figure
Ren?
that you
My
got here?
first action figure.
Was it
that
the
I got-
Wolverine?
No, it was the Kylo Ren SH figure.
Yeah, it was.
Oh.
That's right.
And
I remember I was there. You
That's a
bought
nice
that, I was
figure.
like, right.
Yeah.
I have some Black
call,
Series.
buddy.
I have Play Art. I have NECA. I like the detail on the NECAs, but the posability that's rough.
Yeah.
But I like.
But they're pretty.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
they
think
are.
they're more detailed. Like the Arnolds and the Predators are more detailed than
Their
the.
muscles always look so good.
Yeah, more detailed than the Black Series, but the Black Series are way more posable, and you can do way more things with them, obviously.
Sure.
And like you were also bringing up, the big boxes that they're coming out with. You know what I mean? Like the scenes. Like
Deluxe sets and whatnot.
yeah, those are cool, and like the Comic-Con stuff where they did the double ones and the
Thrawn.
General Hux and.
It's always
or,
nice when
Thrawn.
if all
Yes.
of them do a 6-inch, then everything fits together.
Right.
Unfortunately, when figure arts is at 5 inches and then play arts is at 9 inches, you can't do a scene with all of them looking at each other because it just looks goofy.
It's
Right.
comedic. If you want for a comedic
Right.
scene, then yeah, it works.
Sure.
People on IG shoot that all the
I
time.
mean, I don't know, because I feel
course,
like
but
SH is like
it's
if you're
it's
trying to
overall
have
goofy.
any somewhat of realism, realism, then
I feel like SH
Exactly.
and Marvel Legends and Black Series are all about the same height.
That's a good-
absolutely. They're,
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Same scale.
Yeah,
I personally try to shoot for realism.
I think
Other
Marvel
people try to
Legends
do,
is
like,
even
you know,
getting better.
They try to do
Yeah.
that
New
profane pictures
Black
with
Panther?
weird figures.
I
Yeah.
really
Series that
enjoy
came
when
out
those
is
people
really-
do like
they're really good.
an action figure doing a real life thing. I'm sure you've seen them. Like
Yeah, they're
where
crushing the
they're
can.
crushing the can.
Yeah,
I love
something-
those
yeah.
things. Those
Oh,
are
those are
just
so cool.
those
It's a
are
classic,
so
yeah,
cool.
it is. It is.
All right.
I'm not smart enough to come up with those.
My Luke on a speeding car. He's
Well,
the government.
So I would
No,
pick
I
I would
I
pick
want to.
SH figure arts.
Stop it.
SH
I
figure
would
arts. That's
pick-
your favorite.
because
Nice.
I get the detail and the awesome posability.
You're learning to appreciate.
I
that
agree.
big time.
Yeah.
I very
I like
much
it.
agree.
I like
have to
that.
say that's my favorite as well.
Can't,
really
can't
like it.
disagree. Good
What do you
job.
guys look for in a figure?
Wow.
I think we kind of discussed that just now.
Did we?
Almost. But we can-
Articulation and whatnot.
We'll
I mean,
elaborate.
I'm just a
Like, are you more of a sculpt person or a articulation?
I'd have to go with. Oh, that's a great question because a sculpt versus articulation. Yeah, I can buy a Spawn figure and still appreciate it because it's such detail and love. But then I end up hating it because I can't even pose it. So
Because then you might as well just buy a statue.
yeah, that's the thing. So I'm trying to find that medium, and that's where Black Series and my love for Star Wars is converge. You know, I get the articulation, I get detail, and I buy head sculpts that are made from people around the world that have better paint jobs, that have better sculpts. Why? Because I love my figure that much. An altered Kylo Ren with no hair, but he has a scar. You know, I
Yeah.
bought that off a guy who sculpted something. You know, I just bought a Boba Fett. It's a Jango Fett face, but he has
That
the
one
cover.
was so cool.
Yeah, I got it from the guy,
Dude.
Old Boy on IG.
And the scar.
The
Shout out.
scars, his eyes
Oh,
gone.
man.
I think I had to buy
So
one.
cool.
They're,
It was cool. I saw he showed me the other
they're
day.
phenomenal, bro. So the detail and articulation, they're almost going
Look,
hand
you
in
look for a
hand
good mix.
nowadays.
Like,
Yeah,
you
man.
do. Pick-
They're the
We do.
perfect. It's peanut butter
We're
chocolate.
spoiled.
What do you like? Chocolate peanut butter.
Well,
I was
but
like,
then again-
Jesus, I want both. I can't.
People
have
were
one.
spoiled. Think about it in 1978 when they had the Star Wars figures.
Yeah, but once you introduce the
5
car, you don't want me to go
points
back
in
to
there.
a horse.
That's what I'm-
Once you
That's what I'm
introduce that, you
That's what
can't
I'm
go.
saying. We're so spoiled.
And then once you
now.
go but
we
to
get
the
to
car,
see all
what
these
happens
beautiful
when your
pieces.
spaceship comes
People
out?
wanted to make money, they spoiled us. I'm all for it. Now I'm asking for better. Just refine it a little bit more, and we're all happy.
So would you say you look for the good medium, or would you say you like? Because you said the NECA turtles, and I know that NECA isn't.
Right.
famous
I
for
was gonna
detailing.
say actually, it's more the detail than I would
For
say
you?
the yeah.
Slightly,
I think part of it is because I suck at posing. So even if
I
it's
pose
super
this, by the way.
posable, my guy's still gonna be like this because I'm just not good. I'm gonna have to ask Anthony to pose it for me. And then when he poses, it looks freaking tight. So, but I like statues that don't have giant bases. Giant bases kind of bother me. I don't like the big solid block on the bottom that just stands out. It just really catches
Right,
my
because
eye.
then it's just like
I like how even if I'm not going to be able to articulate it much, because there are some figures that look really great but aren't much articulated, but if I can still move it slightly, but it doesn't have that ugly base, and I can still put it in certain areas
Right.
and kind of hide it and tuck it, then I'm all in for that. I think, like you were saying, it becomes a statue. I think that it does to a point with those statues, that big base, then it really just becomes. It really is just a
Right.
statue, which is cool. I'm not trying to hate on statues. Statues are nice, but I'm a toy guy.
right. You like to move it around a little
You can
bit.
really see them in a
Yeah.
different
little
light.
bit, yeah.
Sees them in
you
a
know,
different
I mean,
light as
it's-
much.
right. I mean, a statue is like featured, so there's nothing around it, and it's just kind of like nothing blocks the base, and it's just there, and it's nice and pretty, and that's great. But like an action figure can get kind of in the dirtiness of it. It could be standing on top of a car, or you can sit
Right.
in it. Even if it doesn't have much articulation, you can still have them sit in a seat, or
Right.
there's those basic things you can still do with it. But I'm still a detail guy. That's detail, all about it.
Tim,
I don't know. That is a hard question. I would say, man, I look
You're
for
loving
both.
articulation. You are loving that.
I, like that figure right there. I like the posability is good, but the Black Series Han, I always thought, the what do you call it, the likeness, what was the
Likeness. Yeah.
Like this,
the
yeah.
likeness of it. He looks, the detail in him is really good. But like on the Old Man Luke, I didn't like that one with the Black Series. You know
Oh,
what I
that
mean?
wasn't
Sometimes
well
they
done.
drop the ball.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
do. Like, and SH does the same thing too.
Yeah.
Every toy line has their flaws. Man.
Mhm.
They go all out. That Black Panther series of phenomenal head sculpts.
Yeah.
They have knocked it out of the park. The new Black series of the Ray.
That